You already know exactly what I'm talking about before I even finish the sentence. That specific smell, plastic clamshell cases, industrial carpet cleaner, and a faint ghost of microwave popcorn is locked somewhere in your brain right now, and it just woke up. Nobody told you that smell was going to mean anything. It just did. There was a moment, every single Friday, where you'd see that blue and yellow sign from the car window, and something in your chest just shifted. It wasn't excitement exactly. It was more like permission. The weekend was real now. It's 1998. You just got home from school. You've already been thinking about this since third period, and dinner is happening faster than usual because everyone in the house quietly agrees that tonight is a Blockbuster night. Kitchen table cleared quickly, family moving toward the front door together, the urgency and shared excitement palpable. Warm interior lighting creates a cozy family atmosphere. There was no app, no cue, no algorithm telling you what to watch. The whole point was that you didn't know yet. At its peak, Blockbuster had 65 million registered members, which means there is a genuinely absurd number of people walking around right now who remember getting their first membership card like it was a rite of passage. You handed it over at the counter and felt, for just a second, like a person with an account, with a history, like you belonged somewhere. The automatic doors opened, and the whole store just hit you at once. The lights, the noise of rewinding tapes from somewhere in the back, and that wall. You know the one. New releases, straight ahead, the most important real estate in any building you visited as a child. Every box faced outward, like it was auditioning for your attention. I don't know who designed that carpet, the aggressive, geometric pattern in burgundy and teal that somehow existed in every location, but that person shaped a generation's visual memory more than any art director working today. You stared at that carpet while your parents debated between two movies for what felt like 11 years. You know every diamond in that pattern by heart. Here is the thing about the new releases wall that nobody talks about. It was a real-time snapshot of what your entire community was thinking about on a Friday night. If the copy you wanted was gone, some other family in your zip code grabbed it first, and that felt personal. Empty slot on the new releases wall where a VHS box should be, the gap clearly visible among the other cases, creating a sense of disappointment and missed opportunity. You'd stand there doing the mental math. Who took the last copy of Armageddon? And did they deserve it more than you? Stuck to the spine of every single VHS tape was a small yellow sticker that said, "Be kind, please rewind." And honestly, it was one of the most optimistic things we have ever asked of each other as a society. Hands carefully rewinding a VHS tape before placing it back in its case, the mechanical action captured with attention to the care and consideration involved. It assumed you would do a small, effortful, completely thankless favor for a stranger you would never meet. Most people did it. That says something. There was a moment, somewhere around age 8 or 9, when your parents finally let you get your own Blockbuster membership card. Not added to theirs, your own. It had your name on it, laminated and everything, and you carried it in your pocket like a VIP pass to the coolest place on earth. That little blue and yellow rectangle meant you were a real person who had real taste and real opinions about movies. Every single Friday night, somewhere in the new release wall section, a full diplomatic summit broke out between every member of your family. Mom was eyeing something with Julia Roberts on the cover. Dad was already holding a Bruce Willis box. Child standing arms crossed, pointing at an animated VHS box with a dragon. The determination and conviction of youth clearly visible in their posture and expression. And you were standing there, arms crossed, pointing at the animated one with the dragon, or the robot, or whatever was on the poster that week. Nobody ever got their first choice. Everybody got something. That was the deal. Here is the thing nobody talks about. The browsing was never a burden. You were supposed to spend 30 to 45 minutes walking every single aisle, reading the back of boxes you had no intention of renting, holding movies up to the fluorescent light like they were artifacts. Empty store aisle at dusk, VHS boxes lining shelves in soft, warm glow, creating an almost sacred atmosphere of quiet contemplation and choice. It was a ritual, A slow, wandering, completely unhurried ritual in a world that was not yet asking you to decide everything in 3 seconds. Somewhere between the horror section and the foreign films was a little shelf that didn't look like much. No data, no engagement metrics, just one person saying, "Hey, this one is actually really good." And honestly, Derek and Allison had better taste than most recommendation engines we use today. If you were a kid in the 90s, you already knew that the video game section was its own separate universe inside the store. You'd stay up until 2 in the morning trying to beat as many levels as possible before you had to give it back. Sunday night was always a small tragedy. Blockbuster was pulling in $800 million a year in late fees alone. $800 million. And a significant chunk of that came from the other crime, not rewinding your tape. Yellow Be Kind rewind sticker and cheerful letters on a VHS case, the friendly appearance masking the strict policy behind the request. Every single VHS had a sticker on it, those little yellow or white ones that said "Be Kind Rewind" in cheerful letters like it was a friendly suggestion. It was not a friendly suggestion. If you returned a tape unrewound, they charged you, and someone, somewhere, always forgot. Right there at the checkout, right where you had no choice but to stand and wait while the cashier scanned your tapes, was the candy. Twizzlers, Nerds, Junior Mints, Sour Patch Kids in big boxes designed to look like they belonged in a movie theater. Child reaching for a candy box while parent pays at the register, the inevitable temptation and successful marketing strategy playing out in real time. This was not a coincidence. Whoever designed that store layout knew exactly what they were doing, and it worked on you every single time. You always left spending $3 more than your parents planned. Sunday night, or maybe Monday morning if you were really pushing your luck. You'd walk out to that blue drop box bolted near the front of the store, and you'd slide the tape through the slot, and you'd hear it land with that hollow thunk at the bottom. And that was it. The weekend was officially over. Something about that sound, that small, final thunk, was the exact feeling of summer ending, or a good book closing, or waking up from a dream you were still trying to hold on to. Here's the thing nobody talks about. It wasn't really about the movie. It was about the hour before the movie. The wandering, the debating, the holding up a case and going, "What about this one?" That was the whole point. Blockbuster was never just a video store. It was a weekly family ritual, dressed up as an errand. Every Friday night, without even realizing it, you were negotiating, you were compromising. You were learning what the people you loved actually liked. Your dad always wanted action. Your mom always wanted something with a little heart. You always wanted something that would scare you just enough. And somehow, every single time, you found the one movie that worked for all three of you. In 1997, a company called Netflix showed up with a simple idea. We'll mail you DVDs, and you never have to leave your couch. And in 2000, they walked into Blockbuster's corporate offices and offered to sell themselves, the whole company, for $50 million. Blockbuster's executives literally laughed them out of the room. $50 million. They laughed. Blockbuster tried to fight back. They cut late fees in 2005, launched their own online rental service, ran the ads, but it was like watching someone try to bail out a sinking ship with a coffee mug. Netflix logo on a screen, stacks of red envelopes in the background. The winner's success clearly displayed. By 2006, Netflix had 6 million subscribers. By 2010, Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy. Darkened Blockbuster store interior, empty shelves, closed sign. The final defeat captured an abandoned retail space. The company that laughed at $50 million couldn't scrape together enough to survive. In 2013, Dish Network bought what was left and shut down nearly all of the remaining 300 stores. Nearly all. Because there is still one single Blockbuster video, still open, still renting DVDs, sitting in Bend, Oregon, like a beautiful, stubborn miracle. People drive hours to visit it. They take photos in front of the sign, the way you'd take a photo at a national landmark. Because, honestly, it kind of is one now. Right now, you have access to more movies and shows than any human being in history, more than you could watch in 100 lifetimes. Streaming grid of thumbnails glowing on a screen, finger hovering, the paralysis of infinite choice without the ritual of selection. And yet, and you know this is true, you spend 45 minutes scrolling Netflix and then re-watch something you've already seen, because the choosing was never really the point. Hands holding a VHS clamshell case under bright store lighting, the physical, tactile experience that streaming cannot replicate. The ritual was the point. The Friday night energy, the physical case in your hands, the argument about whether to get Twizzlers or Sour Patch Kids at the checkout counter. That was the whole experience. Empty living room, streaming menu on TV, no one watching. The hollow nature of modern entertainment consumption. Streaming gave us everything except the part that actually mattered. So I want to know, and I genuinely mean this, I will read every single one. What was your go-to Blockbuster rental? The one you rented so many times the staff probably knew you by name. Comment section on screen, cursor blinking in reply box. The invitation for community engagement and shared memories. Drop it in the comments right now. And if this video hit you somewhere you weren't expecting, subscribe, because we do this every week. We go back to the places and the things that made growing up feel like something worth remembering.